Welcome. Let's play Rule the Waves 2 as France, starting in 1920. This is September 1938 and it's episode number 8, and we are at the beginning of a large convoy protection battle. Full fleet scale act. We have a big carrier force here, 2 fleet carriers, another 2 fleet carriers, and a light carrier. 5 carriers in all. We have 3 battleships of our main battle force here, with a 4th one over here. We also have a light carrier with the battle force, equipped only with fighters to provide cap. We have a scouting force, somewhat oddly, here, which is simply 1 battleship and some destroyers. And we have cruiser screens here, here, here. So it's not going to take a genius to work out that the battle generator thinks that we are heading in this direction and that's the most likely point of contact. But I'm happy for the carriers to poodle around in the east launching strikes, and I'm hoping that a concentration of 5 carriers here will be the deciding factor. The weather is cloudy. We have something like 6¼ hours before dusk falls. I want to bring these people down, carry these people on. The scouting force I will want to bring further this way. Now there is a remote chance that the enemy could appear from this direction, but everything that I can see, the battle generator thinks it's coming from that direction. And remove all of that and zoom out, you can see why. Great big channel here, tiny dangerous channel right next to a French airbase. That way you could come down from the north, but that seems an awful long way away. It would take most of the day to reach there. So I believe the Italians are coming up between Sardinia and Tunisia. In terms of air power, land-based, the Italians have 2 air bases here. The ones in Rome, Naples, and on the edge of Sicily here are really too far away to engage my fleet unless we move strongly towards them. We have 3 in North Africa, 2 in Corsica, and 3 in the south of France. So between those and our 6 carriers, we should be able to neutralize the threat of the Italian Air Force. Cross fingers, with the exception that the Italians are likely to come along with their fleet carriers. If we have a look at the almanac at dear old Jane's fighting ships, we can see that the Italians have 2 fleet carriers and 3 light carriers. So I'm expecting to see them putting in an appearance today. Pretty much it. I'm going to set out search first of all from the main fleet. Search, zoom out so we can see our vectors. Well, there's no point going down searching into, well, I say that. There is a point just in case that is the direction they're coming from. Yes, let's just check that there's nothing immediately to the south of us. And I want cap to be maximum on the main force. That's an instruction to the light carrier to just focus on cap. Not going to send out a scouting force from carrier force. Go to airstrike. Carrier Division 33, the Trident, is fighters only. Leave that to do its thing. Carrier Division 16 is the Toul and the Joffre. So I'm going to take a torpedo bomber and a dive bomber from both. The dive bomber, I'm going to set everything to heavy. Likewise, I've got some veterans here for a dive bomber, torpedo bomber. That takes the dive bombers up from 600 to 800 pound bombs. I'm going to ready that. Go to the next carrier division. Here we have the Pan-Levy and the Lafayette. Likewise on the Pan-Levy, torpedo bomber and a dive bomber, and on Lafayette, ditto. Again, set all of these to be heavy. coordinate. It's just the mood. Ditto for them. Ready strike. So that's got all of that done. Now, given that we've got extensive search assets both on our carriers and across North Africa, I would have expected the Italians to already appear in this area, but it hasn't, so I'm expecting us to bump in French fleet at some point. And there you go. I didn't take it, did it? Where is our... Oh, well, it's here. So given that the unknown ships are there, I think we can infer that the rest of the fleet is not far behind. So the temptation is to launch one of my strike forces in this kind of area to see if we can catch them out early. Maybe the Dixmont. Its planes aren't ready yet, so I'm seeing visual plane exit that. We'll have to wait. One of the disadvantages of the game is it doesn't really pop up a area strike force is ready. Okay, let's go in for a little bit of cruiser love. Our battleship to the north is steaming down, which is great. Our main battle force, 26. Crank that up. In fact, that is that's the scouting force. The main battle force, slower, so we're going to take that to 21 knots. Ships are down there. Cruisers will, sorry, the carriers will just go off and do their own thing. Let's see. Light cruiser, a little bit of gunfire. Ah, battleship straight away. That's great. As this force grows, we obviously want to keep it away from this lot. North and away from this lot. The rest doesn't really matter. Just need to keep between them to change some of the cruiser missions from scout dependent. Not going to control it just yet. See what I mean about discrete messages? Torpedo boats, naval strikes are ready on the Pan-Levy. Well, you know, thanks for pointing that out. Go to our force and let's have a ready here. Only on the Pan-Levy. So not on the Lafayette. I guess the fleet carriers with more room do better getting stuff ready. Strike this direction. Only 42 miles. Nothing. Let's launch that strike. Having launched it, get more ready to go. So that's the first strike underway. Seemingly one battleship and destroyers screening and a cruiser. Presumably the Italian scouting force. Yes. Okay. So we've been spotted by enemy aircraft. Hopefully our maximum cap to say about that. And this is the Duquesne. Second part of the course has gone wildly off in its action. Yeah, just on its own really should support the screen. Just go back to our strike forces. So as you can see, the Trident has launched all of its fighters. Oops. I'm tempted to hold them. Time is marching on. 5 hours. check the distance. That is 13,000 yards. The battleship, so-called, a heavy crew. 6-inch guns. Very heavy. So here, 10-inch gun. Classic. Let's straighten those. Ah, and these are definitely claiming to be ships. Just going to straighten up the Marengo. I'm going to get the Ducan to try and corner. Keep the Prissy that direction. Go back to our carriers. These two. Get them striking here. Let's launch that strike. Not developed multi-carrier coordinated strikes. Not coordinate the strikes then. Oh, hang on. Perhaps I coordinate this one, that strike. Doesn't mind. And then launch this one. So that's great. Got some torpedo bombers, dive bombers, again, torpedo bombers, dive bombers. Those all to heavy, readiest there. And Lafayette. Mainly got fighters here. One lot of torpedo bombers. One lot bombers. They're already ready. So let's launch them as well. I'm going to hold the Lafayette's readies in reserve just for the moment. Equally on the Dixmude, hold these ready. Right, let's zoom in. So we have Italian battleships. Good old 12 inches at 20 knots. Nothing to disturb the Marengos. The Italians seem to be wanting to go that way. So I want to stop going that way because obviously we're going to bypass. Bring this lot around. Bringing this one over that way. The sea can carry on. It would be nice if I can keep these ships roughly in this area so that the carriers have time. Bit hot for the Marengo, takes a hull hit there, you miss. So this is what they can mean by windy corner. You can aim at this point and you know that after the Marengo, the Océan is going to take its place. Just have a look what that's doing. Just quite enjoying having a beautiful Nelson type ship with 16-inch guns. Hit chances at the moment is 3.5, so that's not bad. The whole squadron. So the Marengo by far the best hit chance here. Speed's going down as we're doing this quite radical turn. Another hull hit, but they all seem to be holding. We are only at under 15,000 yards range. The Democratie is still going this way. I'm kind of wondering, do I want to bring it further to the south or more to the east? Kind of happy with this. It's like a little sheepdog roll. It's hopefully going to get the Italians to not go too far to the west, east even. Oh, this is a rubbish battleship. 8 10-inch guns. Ha! With an 8-inch belt. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And here is our first strike force. Excellent. And they seem to be coming together as well. Current hit for Marengo. Zoom in a bit. This strike force. So we now have 1, 2, 3, still 4 Italian battleships. There may be others around, and there may be an Italian carrier force around somewhere. At the moment, we can enjoy 2 fast but useless 10-inch battleships and 2 slow 12-inch. Having really, this is not an impressive. Here we go. Here we go. This lot can do. Oh, at the same time as well. Lovely. Yep, bring this lot out slightly. Oh, we've had a turret disabled. That ruined? No. What's happening over here? Fires a lot. Not seeing hits just yet. 2 bomber hits, 1 aircraft, a couple of aircraft destroyed. A bit more. And a hit from one of our torpedo bombers. Excellent. As you can see, the fleet's in a lot of disarray. The democracy, I can slow this down now. They are at 17,500. Marengo and Chums are at about 13.5, and against this 11. Let's just check their hit chances. Not really great. 3.5 to 2.6. See what the factors are. Basic hit chance 6.7. Minus for target aspect. Fire control is a slight plus. Tech is a plus. Target turning is minus 20. Target loose formation is minus 10. Under fire is minus 20. 4 ships firing at the same target, minus 30. Well, yes, I suppose that would fit. Now, Peter Davies did mention about this fire control thing, so I'm just going to read out what he said. You can click on the visual info ships, the division there, and click on the set target button, this one I believe, if you want them to fire at 2 different ships. So they are firing, okay, they are tagged to fire at the BB division of 4 ships. If you also double click on a hit in the log, it will center on the ship so you can tell between the different ones. So I was complaining that because it says Conte de Cava and Conte de Cava, when it's hit, I don't know which one's been hit. But if I double click log, it will show me. Okay, thanks Peter. So their formation gone all over the place. We should start to punish them a bit. This and this strike going in. Nope, they're going out. They're down to 10 knots. They're down to 10 knots. They're down to 10. Also light damage and 10 knots. I'm going to go to my strikes and launch a second strike. So here we are with the Tool and the Joff. Get them just to adjust the target. Be still around here. That lot. And for the Joff, ditto. Let's launch them. Division 21. We also have a strike ready. Again, I'm just going to keep that in reserve just for now. So I'm going to straighten the Marengo out and send C slightly more straight. I'm going to try and fold the Italians around. So, and we're sort of going to try and box them in. I think our force is fine. Look at the damage. Bit of damage to the Marengo, mainly that turret. A bit of flooding. So I'm going to slow down this force just to help with the flooding. Also, we're kind of crowding it up a bit. So get to, especially as these seem to be all going very slow. So they've popped back up to 15 knots. So their radical turns against the aeroplane really slowed them down. And we're scoring some nice, good hits. That's what Peter meant. Double clicking. Yes, it's all going quite well. Now, obviously any semblance of a line has completely gone to pot. I am at risk of the democracy overshooting here. Us going down there and them sneaking past us. Keep this fleet going. Bring the democracy a little bit around. I mean, that is quite close. Only 11,000 yards. shepherd them from the back, and here are other of our strikes approaching. This lot here. More approaching enemy ships. I mean, the Italians are taking a terrible pasting here. Gian hit twice. Marengo hit one. Is a penetrator. Then Regina Margherita. I am going to turn it around. They're now at very short range. I'm going to pull that out. There's no reason I should be risking it. And there we go. There's a reportedly an AV here, an old seaplane tender, even called an old Italian seaplane carrier. Maybe there's something a bit more fun around there. And another torpedo, and another. Well, this is going very badly for the Italians. And some more. A torpedo from the scouting group. You know what, actually, I'm going to pull the destroyers out. This is going so well that I don't want to sit up necessarily. Goes back down again. Once again, the Italians are going all over the place, knackering their speed. And a heavy cruiser hit as well, just for safe measure. 16-inch guns of Marengo and 13-inch guns of they are pounding away. De Cava, Conte de Cavour. Okay. Ooh, we've gone out of sight. Hit by a torpedo and oh, well, I didn't expect that. And another. Oh dear. So we got a little bit too close to their destroyers there. Let's put it back under that. So that is a bit of a concern. Put these destroyers. I'm going to bring the battle fleet around. We're really close range, 7,000 yards. I'm going to take them around. Make them circle and effectively go after. Yeah, can. It's doing its own sweet thing. Roger, damaged. So it's limiting its flooding. Well done. Yeah, torpedo hit, rudder damaged. Repaired. Hooray! Still have the black flag up. Oh. So that's one Italian completely done for. The rest of the battle fleet there was a bit slow to turn. Oh, this is a massacre. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 torpedo hits. Whatever this force was, it's not going to be any more. Just had to pause it there because it's difficult to talk and grin manically at the same time. So let's just see. Take off the ones. Got a few bits and bobs, but I'm not going to. Nothing on 16, 19 type of and torpedo bombers. Make them heavy. Ready that strike. One. We have a ready strike. Ready to go. So let's launch. Let's just get in there. I'm going to set the target to about here. Only 30 away. Launch that strike. This Another torpedo and another torpedo. There's not going to be a lot left of this, so I can bring these guys into core, which is great. If I have a little look, they're flooding at 12, and that's actually increased quite a lot, so I'm going to slow them all the way down. This, and quietly send them out of action. Give them a little bit of a breather. Not sure why some of these are going so slowly. The Doucet seems to have ground to a halt at 11 knots. I'm gonna bring the Democracy down. I was going to join it to the end of this line, but there doesn't seem to be much of a line left. Let's just see, and some more. Good, I want to avoid firing this one because obviously that's dead in the water. Going at 18 knots, that's fine. They still haven't repaired their turret, but another one fully static. Still flooding. No, don't shoot at that. Yes, you can see why you're imagining that's a good thing. Good targets to shoot at. That one. Better one. There are some enemy dive bombers around. Who had a... Oh, it's evading. Ken doing? Well, a bit concerned at that. I think I'm minded, but the temptation is to go and kill the whole lot. We have this one, heavy damage and on fire. This one, medium damage, on fire, and 5 knots. This one, of course, is stationary. On here. I imagine they're all pretty much not long for this world, but I'm going to take my force out of here. We've done enough. It's not enough for a victory. Yes, I could massacre them, but I've still got more planes coming. Check the time. Got just under 4 hours. Yeah. Ready a strike. Sul? Joffre? Striker 19. Have a new strike ready on the pan levy. Target Lafayette has regained its M. Back on the pan levy. About to ready once strike. Yeah, I don't fancy risking the rest of my force. Just put the black flag on again, just to encourage some destroyers to go around and finish off people. Flooding still at 12, still a concern. Boom. Well, that simplifies the targeting problem. That's 2 of the 4 sunk. And here comes another strike. Oh, so that's 3 of them gone. I'll have to start on their heavy cruisers and things. Still at 12. That's the job done, I'm going to call that. But my only concern really is, my only real concern is the Dukan with this persistent flooding. See what that can do. Send the carriers to the north to catch up with everybody else. Let's just see if more strikes, just as a parting gift. These are ready. Target that kind of area. Not enjoying the 12 flooding. Yeah, I know you got 50%. Really struggling. Oh, you're kidding me. Yes, 50% struggling, so the obvious thing to do is to speed up, and we're obviously going to have to shepherd them. Speed up and head towards the enemy. Good choice. And it started to re-engage. I could lose this. This 12 flooding is, there he goes. The battle fleet, bring it back under control. Okay, 20 knots. So let's bring this down to 0. Stop it. Unsighted enemy hit by a lot of them. That was kind of what I was hoping for. Slow the battle fleet back to cruising. Any joy with your flooding? Still at 12. I mean, 12 is not a lot of flooding. So why the damage control teams aren't able to get a handle on this, I don't really know. Hopefully, the scenario will end. Oh no, time elapsed 247 out of 900. A lot more of this battle fought if we still maintain contact. Hour and 50 night time. Still no joy. Eek. I have a bad feeling about this. I think this is going to be all a bit of an arc royal. Enemy aircraft approaching one of our cruisers. Still at 12. Just hope. At least there's dusk. Oh, I can be under and I can rush up my speed unnecessarily. 60% damage, still at 12. I have a very bad feeling. Welcome to the world of 4 knots. Speed a bit. Oh no. I'm going to run the clock out. Yes! Our submarines torpedoed an enemy light carrier. Well, we never saw any enemy light carriers, so that was interesting. And here we go. Just in on this. Italians, 4 battlecruisers, all of them sunk. We have 1 heavy damage. Well done. Got it back. And we weren't enormously superior. We only had 5 to their 4, although 2 of them had 10-inch guns. They had 1 CV that we never found, and 3 of their CVLs, which we damaged 1. Sunk a heavy cruiser, damaged a heavy cruiser, a couple of destroyers, and we essentially just had 1 destroyer sunk. In aircraft loss, we lost 40 in all. They lost 35. Obviously, they failed to sink our transports. We did lose 3 airships. They were all operational. I'm not going to look at the battle damage, but I am quite keen to see what happened. Flagships. So, well, okay, that's a bit bonkers. So one of them went down there, another one to here. So that was their carrier over there that obviously got down south and hugged the coast. Some of their cruisers, another of their cruisers. So their battle fleet got crushed, their carriers went that way. So it completely disorganized their force. So that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Let's come out. Just your 11,000. Yes. And a battleship finished its reconstruction. One of our best attack units with 11 bomb hits. Well done, 2,671 squadron. And another one for the and air intercept control system increases cap effectiveness. That's a good thing to have in the middle of a war. A new flying boat ready for operational service. Nothing much going on there. In a battle between our ally and Italy, we are continuing to blockade the Italians. Hooray, hurrah. And that seems to be it for a very good September. Very happy with that. I hope you enjoyed that battle. It was a lot of spinning plates, but I think it all worked pretty well. Have a happy new year and see you next time.